here's Brody Brazil.
What do the Oakland A's and Milwaukee Brewers have in common right now? Apparently, they're both being thrown under MLB's bus. As this exclusive report comes to us from News Talk 1130, the radio station WISN from Milwaukee, and the reporting by Dan O'Donnell, and the headline here saying MLB tells Brewers they need to repair American Family Field, the former Miller Park, which I believe opened in 2000, 2001. It's not very old, and wait until you see the dollar amount that they're saying it's going to take to get these repairs done. Major League Baseball has told the Milwaukee Brewers that they need to repair American Family Field to ensure it remains an MLB-caliber ballpark, the Dan O'Donnell Show has learned exclusively. While the league did not give the Brewers an explicit ultimatum, it was made clear that MLB will not allow American Family Field to, quote, deteriorate as the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum has. I mean, the Coliseum's from the 60s. This is from the 2000s. Last month, the A's announced a land purchase agreement that will move the team. Whoa! Officially? I mean, it could. Let me change that for this reporting here of WISN. A land purchase agreement that could move the team from Oakland to Las Vegas, potentially following the 2024 season. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred will be in Milwaukee for the Brewers game against the San Francisco Giants Thursday, which is today as I'm recording this, as part of a tour of all 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. A source familiar with the discussions who spoke on condition of anonymity said Manfred will further outline the league's expectations when he meets with Brewers officials. The Brewers said earlier this year that American Family Field needs an estimated, $448 million in repairs. The ballpark, which opened in 2001, there you go, as Miller Park, is owned by the Southeast Wisconsin Professional Baseball Park District. That's a mouthful. A local unit of government that owns and operates the stadium and leases it to the Brewers. The team's current lease expires in 2030, with 5 two-year options that could extend it until 2040. Under the terms of the lease, the district is responsible for, quote, all major capital repairs and must keep American Family Field in a condition that, quote, can be reasonably said to fall within the top 25% of all such facilities when such facilities are ranked or rated according to the quality with which they are repaired and improved. It's detailed enough, but that's also quite vague. Basically, they want this facility to fall within the top 25% of ratings and rankings. Who's doing that? I don't know. I mean, it's a general assumption. They're aiming at something broad, not specific. But I understand what that sentiment is. The Brewers have been in discussions with state and local government officials for more than a year regarding how the repairs would be funded and had hoped that a portion of the money would be allocated in the 2023 to 2025 state budget. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers, however, blindsided the state legislature when he announced that $290 million would be included in the budget without ever discussing the plan with legislative leaders. Okay, well, that sure is interesting. Quote, I think the deal that he cut is not a very good one for the taxpayer, Assembly Speaker Robin Voss said in March. The legislature's Joint Finance Committee has been working on Evers' budget proposal since receiving it in February and will present its amended budget to the full legislature in the next few weeks. It is unclear how much, if any, public financing for American Family Field repairs will be included in it. There's a lot of questions here surrounding how much this is going to cost, where's this going to come from, is this even debatable? Wow, this is complicated and seems rather intense. While Major League Baseball officials did not explicitly say that the Brewers could face relocation, if the repairs are not completed, they did make a point of mentioning the relocation of the A's when they outlined their expectations. To me, it's basically saying, if you don't get this stuff fixed, look what we're doing with the A's. We're shoving them off to Las Vegas. That seems like a threat by Major League Baseball. I mean, right? Or a firm warning? something? I mean, that is a maneuver by Major League Baseball to try and expedite the process, to try and get people to do what they want. They're almost like a homeowners association here who says everybody mows their lawn and you're not mowing it regularly enough. Your grass is growing too high or whatever. Interesting. The Brewers have never threatened to leave Milwaukee and could face a difficult task in finding a new home if they ever would consider relocating. But would they have a difficult time? I mean, Orlando is beckoning, right? They're out there. Las Vegas, easily the most likely destination for a relocated franchise. Now, hang on. Sorry, I got to pause right there. I just did a whole separate video on the Bally's Corporation chairperson who says, I don't know if Las Vegas would be a front runner for MLB expansion, right? But obviously relocation too, to get a new team. Here it says Las Vegas, easily the most likely destination for a relocated franchise. Is it though? Why not Orlando? Why not Nashville? I mean, they're trying to get their own team in Nashville, certainly. But anyway, Las Vegas, easily the most likely destination for a relocated franchise, will be the home of the A's in 2 years, reportedly, or potentially, I should say. And other potential landing spots such as Nashville, San Antonio, or Portland would likely be in line for an expansion team when, as expected, MLB expands by 2 franchises in the next few years. There is some assumption based in those words right there, but I don't think it's far off. Like, it's not far away, but there's a lot of assumption happening in that paragraph. Public financing of Milwaukee Stadium has been highly controversial since the Southeast Wisconsin Professional Ballpark District was created by the state in 1995, funded primarily through a new 0.1% sales tax on Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Ozaukee. Am I saying that right? I should have looked that up. And Washington counties. The following year, State Senator George Patak, hope I'm saying that right, was recalled from office after promising constituents that he would oppose the new tax and then changing his mind and voting for it. Wow. There's drama, there's history, there's influence here. Major League Baseball seems like they're trying to enter the chat, so to speak, of getting American Family Field repaired and expediting that process. And again, I think from the A's perspective, and those of you watching my videos in this channel, like, you can now see how baseball is using what's going on with the A's as an example of, and if you don't shape up, we will ship you out too. That's interesting. It's an interesting way to handle this. And look, a stadium right there, which I don't know exactly what's going on. I've heard it's roof repairs, concession upgrades. I mean, this was a ballpark built 22 years ago. And already we're talking about like $450 million, I think it was, basically. $450 million gets you like a third of a brand new built ballpark, apparently, in Las Vegas. Like, they're saying $1.5 billion. So 450 is almost a third of that. That's a large amount of money in repairs necessary for this ballpark. So what exactly is it going to? What is so severe and significant? Is it really that deteriorated? And to use the Coliseum as the example of, well, we don't want this to turn into that. It takes decades of neglecting the Coliseum to make it look how it did. And I don't even really mean in recent years. I'm talking about all the years of the 80s and 90s and 2000s when that facility, the Coliseum, did not change or improve. That's when it fell behind the curve. And then Mount Davis is constructed out there. That's what put the Coliseum behind the curve. Not the need of spending $450 million after 20 years to upgrade it. So that's the report from Milwaukee. I know a lot of you saw it and shared it with me yesterday and said you ought to put some comments together on this. There you go. Thumbs up if you watched here all the way to the end like you did. I appreciate that. And don't forget to subscribe so that I can see you next time.